cold revenge against my cheating wife. I have this feeling that maybe I did something wrong. And that's why I'm here asking for advice. My wife cheated on me about 6 months ago. How did I find out? One morning, while she was in the shower, I needed to make a call. I couldn't find my phone, so I grabbed hers. That's when my heart dropped straight into my stomach. Some guy was texting her, saying he wanted to repeat last night in every detail. I don't want to go into specifics here. Up until that moment, I honestly believed our marriage was solid. Sure, we had problems, arguments, misunderstandings, but we always worked through them. I'm just a regular guy. I grew up in a stable family. We weren't the kind of people who bought a new car every year, but we also never went hungry. My parents had a mortgage, a car loan, but both of them worked, so we never complained. I was an only child. My mom had complications after giving birth, so they decided one kid was enough. We had student loans, paid off half the mortgage. Looking back now, I'm glad we didn't have kids yet. I had a good job. My wife worked too, but as she liked to say, just so I wouldn't sit at home. My income alone was more than enough for both of us. So there I was, holding her phone, my vision blurred with rage. I wanted to confront her right there. Demand answers. Ask why she did this to me. Because she and her friends always said I was the perfect husband. I gave everything I had. It's not like I never had opportunities to cheat. I just didn't want to. I love this woman. Yeah, we're both around 30 now, and our bedroom life isn't like the first years. But I tried. Sure, I let myself go a little, but I worked out. Not professionally, but I got rid of the beer belly. And that's when the thought hit me. Did I do too much? After reading that message, I was already walking toward the bathroom to confront her. But at the last second, I stopped. I decided to think clearly. I downloaded all the messages so I'd have proof. Then I left straight for work. I never did that before. We always had breakfast together. Just not that morning. I arrived at work an hour early and just sat there. I'm a little ashamed to admit this, but I cried. Almost 15 years of my life felt wasted. When I realized I couldn't work, I called my boss and told him what happened that morning. For context, my boss was like an older brother to me. I know people say you shouldn't get close to coworkers, but this was different. Let's call him John. John is about 10 years older than me. He always helped me with any problem, and I always had his back too. To be honest, John was the best man at my wedding. 5 years ago, he went through a brutal divorce himself, and I didn't know who else to turn to. He left work immediately, and we went to the bar where we usually hung out after work. He asked a lot of questions, and at some point, he said something important. Don't let her know that you already know. He explained there were two possibilities. Either this was a one-time thing, or it was an ongoing situation. We needed to know how long it had been going on, and how many times. That's when he gave me the number of his private investigator. The Pi was extremely professional. He asked a long list of questions. We signed paperwork. When it came to payment, he said that since I was coming through John, he'd only charge me if he actually found something. That surprised me, given how much time this could take. It also made me trust him more. That evening, when I got home, my wife was wearing a beautiful dress. For a second, part of me wanted to forget everything and just go to the bedroom. Then another thought hit me. What if she passed something on to me? I felt sick. I said I wasn't hungry and went to work in my home office. At the PI's request, I forwarded him all the messages and scheduled a doctor's appointment. Right then, my wife came in and said she was going out with friends. I said okay, and decided to go to John's place. I knew being alone would only make things worse. John and I drank heavily. So heavily that I don't remember breaking a massive table at his place. He told me not to worry. We'd fix it together once everything was over. The next morning, with my head splitting, the Pi called. We invited him over to John's place. Around the same time, I saw a message from my wife. She said she drank too much and was staying over at a friend named Sue's. I don't know any Sue. That's when I knew the pie wasn't coming just to talk. When he arrived, he asked me to sit down and told John to bring me water. He'd found out that at my wife's workplace. This was already her fourth or fifth affair. None of the men she was seeing even knew she was married. He hadn't contacted the current one yet. I asked, "Current?" He showed me photos. She wasn't with friends. She was with a man. They arrived at an expensive restaurant in an expensive car. When they walked in, the guy grabbed her ass. I felt my blood boil. The pie said they left together and that he had the address, but he wouldn't give it to me yet. He didn't want me doing something stupid. Then he suggested another option. He asked if my wife had any trips coming up. She did. A 2-week business trip to another state. Scheduled in about a month. Perfect. It gave me time to exit the marriage without major losses. He told me to contact John's lawyer, one of the best in the county. While the paperwork was being prepared, I had to quietly move my money out of our joint account and stop making purchases in my name. My salary wasn't huge, but I knew how to save. Most of the savings were in accounts my wife had access to. So John offered to sell me his small apartment near work. Close, but tight. We agreed I'd withdraw money in small amounts over a month and give it to him. As for the house, when I graduated college, my father helped with the down payment, and the house was registered in his name. So that part was safe. My wife never made a single mortgage payment. She never saved money at all. Her salary went to random stuff. Technically, everything we had was mine. But our state doesn't have fault-based divorce, so she could still claim part of it. Over that month, I got checked by a doctor. Luckily, nothing came up. I moved all the money out, leaving only enough for utilities. John and I agreed the apartment would be transferred to me 6 months after the divorce was finalized. My father and I decided to sell the house. I'd return his initial investment and he'd give me the rest. I slowly moved my things to the new apartment. Anything that didn't fit went to my parents' house. During that month, I learned even more. Turns out, my wife's lover had a wife too. I saved more messages, more explicit photos, sent everything to my lawyer. The pie even suggested following them on the business trip, since he was licensed in that state. Because yes, she was traveling with him, a lover's getaway. The night before her departure, she cooked dinner. I figured, why not? After dinner, she wanted to go to the bedroom, and I decided that one last time, I'd do everything I ever wanted with protection, just in case. I was so angry that after 2 hours, she could barely stand. The next morning, she left for the airport. I started packing what was left. On the 4th day of her trip, the pie sent me a video, a bedroom video. I couldn't believe it. That's when I decided to do something I hadn't planned. I prepared 5 boxes, messages, photos, and as the final piece, the video. One box went to her parents, the second to her company's management, the third stayed at the house for her, the fourth went to my lawyer, and the fifth to the wife of her lover. At their company. Relationships between management and staff are strictly forbidden and can end careers. I timed everything so the boxes would arrive exactly when they were boarding the plane. Finally, I warned my family and our mutual friends that she cheated and we were separating, and asked them not to tell her anything about me. That's the whole story. The packages are sent, and now I don't know if I went too far. Write in the comments. Tell me honestly, should I stop this or not? Update 1. It's been about a month since my last post. I replied to some comments, but I decided to write a proper update here. A lot of people told me not to cancel anything. She didn't think about what would happen to me when she was cheating, so why should I suddenly be gentle with her? Everything arrived almost exactly when I calculated it would. The moment the boxes were delivered, my phone started blowing up. Calls from her parents, calls from people at her workplace, but about an hour later, Things got really bad, she landed. That's when she started calling and texting me, nonstop. I didn't answer any of her calls. But I read the messages. At first, she was calm. She was just asking me to pick up the phone so we could talk. Then it switched to insults and threats. She said she would take the house. She said she would take all my money. And then she went right back to begging me to talk. I saved everything, sent it all to my lawyers, and blocked her. She tried many times to find me. She showed up at my workplace. She caused scenes. John chased her off every time, threatening to call the police. My lawyer told me that even though our state doesn't have fault-based divorce, I fully protected myself. She's going to walk away with nothing. If she even tries to fight this in court, she could bankrupt herself because she won't be able to afford lawyers. Am I happy? No. We were together almost 15 years. I understand that I don't love her anymore. Sometimes I even feel hatred, but I loved her with my whole heart once. And memories still hurt. Thank you to everyone who sent support. I might post another update later. Update 2. 3 years later. Felt really strange stumbling across my own account again. I honestly forgot I ever posted this story here. I can't explain what it feels like to read it after so many years. I want to answer the most common questions I saw. First, how did the divorce go? Exactly as I expected. She got nothing and didn't continue fighting it because she didn't have the money. Second, what happened to the other guy? From what mutual acquaintances told me, he wasn't fired. He was transferred to another branch and demoted, and yes, he also got divorced. From what I know, his wife got full custody and most of his assets. I think the box I sent her helped with that. That's what you get for sleeping with someone else's wife. Third, what happened to my ex-wife? This was the most common question, so the answer is a bit longer. When my wife and her lover came back from their little getaway, reality hit them immediately. They were called into work straight from the airport. She was fired on the spot. The lover, as I mentioned earlier, wasn't fired, but demoted and transferred. She went home. That's where the box was waiting, and there was something inside that I never mentioned before, a letter. In it, I wrote about my feelings and that I never wanted to cross paths with her again. The divorce papers were there too. According to mutual friends, she drank for several days straight until her father showed up. He later said the house didn't look like a home anymore. It looked like a trash dump. Empty bottles everywhere. Garbage all over the place. He asked her to move out because the house belonged to him and he planned to sell it. She told him she had nowhere to go. Her parents had cut her off after everything that happened, especially after realizing I had sent that box to them. She complained. She blamed everyone. Her father didn't argue. He told her that everything was her own fault and legally gave her 2 weeks to leave the house. During the divorce hearings, she looked worse every time. A woman who always dressed well and took care of herself looked pale by the final hearing, wearing old, worn-out clothes. After the last hearing, we talked. Briefly. She apologized. She said that when we couldn't have children, sex slowly stopped meaning much to her. For her, it became a way to release pressure. And she lost control. She said she should have talked to me. It hurt. But I told her I forgave her and wished her strength to rebuild her life. That was the last time I saw her. Later, mutual acquaintances told me she moved back to her hometown. She found a job and is renting a small attic room at her parents' place while trying to get back on her feet. And finally, about me after the divorce. I stayed single for a while. Then I met a wonderful woman. We didn't rush into marriage, but recently, my son was born. He's only 2 weeks old. It feels like a dream. A house, a yard with greenery, a minivan and a pickup truck, and a beautiful woman by my side. I'm thinking about proposing after the baby turns 6 months old. Thank you to everyone. Over 3 years, this post received so much support. Thank you.